Welcome back, bookworms. Today, we're diving into a treasure trove of new novels that will keep you turning pages late into the night. From heart-pounding thrillers to historical mysteries and everything in between, there's something for every reader in our lineup. So, grab your favorite reading spot, brew a cup of tea, and let's explore the exciting worlds crafted by some of today's most talented authors. And hey, if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest literary adventures. The Atlas Maneuver, a Cotton Malone novel by Steve Berry. From celebrated New York Times best-selling author Steve Berry comes the latest Cotton Malone adventure, in which Cotton unravels a mystery from World War II involving a legendary lost treasure, worth billions, known as Yamashita's gold. The Bezzle, a Martin Hench novel by Cory Doctorow. New York Times bestseller Cory Doctorow's The Bezzle is a high-stakes thriller where the lives of the hundreds of thousands of inmates in California's prisons are traded like stock shares. The Chaos Agent, a Gray Man novel by Mark Greaney. Artificial intelligence leads to shockingly real danger for the Gray Man in this latest entry in the #1 New York Times best-selling series. End of story by H.A. Finn. For fans of Knives Out comes a spellbinding thriller from the author of the #1 New York Times bestseller The Woman in the Window. The Guest by B.A. Paris. New York Times best-selling author B.A. Paris captivated psychological thriller readers everywhere with Behind Closed Doors. Now she invites you into another home full of heart-pounding secrets, in The Guest. Hard Girls by J. Robert Lennon. In this racing, twisty crime novel, two estranged twin sisters hunt down their elusive mother, and face down the darkness they tried to escape. Island Witch by Amanda Jayatissa. Set in 19th century Sri Lanka and inspired by local folklore, the daughter of a traditional demon priest, relentlessly bullied by peers and accused of witchcraft herself, tries to solve the mysterious attacks that have been terrorizing her coastal village. A Step Past Darkness by Vera Kurian. 6 classmates. One terrifying night. A murder 20 years in the making. The Boy Who Cried Bear, a Havens Rock novel by Kelly Armstrong. In The Boy Who Cried Bear, New York Times best-selling author Kelly Armstrong keeps readers on the edge of their seats while Detective Casey Duncan tries to locate the threat before it's too late. Daybreak by Matt Gallagher. A disillusioned American veteran volunteers for the war in Ukraine to reconnect with a woman from his past in this timely and powerful novel from a vital, The Washington Post, voice in contemporary literature. The Atlas Maneuver, a Cotton Malone novel by Steve Berry. A thriller. In the waning months of World War II, Japan hid vast quantities of gold and other stolen valuables in booby-trapped underground caches all across the Philippines. By 1947, some of that loot was recovered by the United States government, which told no one about the find. Instead, those assets were stamped classified and secretly assimilated into something called the Black Eagle Trust. In the present day, retired Justice Department operative Cotton Malone is in Switzerland doing a favor for a friend. But what was supposed to be a simple operation turns violent, and Cotton is thrust into a war between the world's oldest bank and the CIA, a battle that directly involves the Black Eagle Trust. He quickly discovers that everything hinges on a woman from his past, who suddenly reappears harboring a host of explosive secrets centering on Bitcoin. From Grand Central Publishing. The Bezzle, a Martin Hench novel by Cory Doctorow. A science fiction/thriller. Martin Hench is at the top of his game as a self-employed forensic accountant, a veteran of the long guerrilla war between people who want to hide money and those who want to find it. When Marty disrupts a seemingly innocuous scheme during a vacation on Catalina Island, he has no idea he's kicked off a chain of events that will overtake the next decade of his life. Martin has made his most dangerous mistake yet, trespassed into the playgrounds of the ultra-wealthy to spoil their fun. Secure in the knowledge that they're living behind far too many firewalls of shell companies and investors ever to be identified, they are interested not in the lives they ruin, but only in how much money they can extract from the government, and the hundreds of thousands of prisoners they have at their mercy. From Tor Books. The Chaos Agent, a Gray Man novel by Mark Greaney. Genre: thriller. Someone is killing the world's leading experts on robotics and artificial intelligence. Is it a tech company trying to eliminate the competition, or is it something even more sinister? The Gray Man's quest for a quiet life has led him to Central America, where he and his lover, Zoya Zaharova, have assumed new identities. With a list of enemies that includes billionaires, terrorists, and governments, they need to keep a low profile. Eventually, though, they're tracked down and offered a job by an old acquaintance of Zoya's. He needs their help extracting a Russian scientist who is on the kill list. They reject the offer, but just being seen with him is enough to put assassins on their trail. Now they're back on the run, but no matter which way they turn, it's clear that whoever is tracking them is always going to be one step ahead. From Berkeley Publications. End of story by A.J. Finn. Genre: psychological thriller. I'll be dead in 3 months. Come tell my story. So writes reclusive mystery novelist Sebastian Trapp to his longtime correspondent, Nikki Hunter, an expert in detective fiction. With mere months to live, Trapp invites Nikki to his spectacular San Francisco mansion to help draft his life story. While living alongside his beautiful second wife, Diana, his wayward nephew, Freddie, and his protective daughter, Madeline. Soon Nikki finds herself caught in an irresistible case of real-life detective fever. 20 years earlier, on New Year's Eve 1999, Sebastian's first wife and teenage son vanish from different locations, never to be seen again. Did the perfect crime writer commit the perfect crime? And why has he emerged from seclusion, 2 decades later, to allow a stranger to dig into his past? Publisher: William Morrow. The Guest by B.A. Paris. Genre: domestic thriller. Iris and Gabriel have just arrived home from a make-or-break holiday. But a shock awaits them. One of their closest friends, Laure, is in their house. The atmosphere quickly becomes tense as she oversteps again and again, sleeping in their bed, wearing Iris clothes, even rearranging the furniture. Laure has walked out on her husband, and their good friend, Pierre, over his confession of an affair and a secret child. Iris and Gabriel want to be supportive of their friends, but as Laure's mood becomes increasingly unpredictable, her presence takes its toll. Iris and Gabriel's only respite comes in the form of a couple new to town. But with them comes their gardener, who has a checkered past. Soon, secrets from all their pasts will unravel, some more dangerous than they could have known. Publisher: St. Martin's Press. Hard Girls by J. Robert Lennon. Genre: thriller. Jane Poole likes her safe, suburban existence just fine, but she remains haunted by her past, her mercurial, absent mother, her parents' secrets, and the act of violence that transformed her life. When her estranged twin, Lila, makes contact, claiming to know where their mother is and why she left all those years ago, Jane agrees to join her, desperate for answers and the chance to reconnect with the only person who knew her true self. Yet as the hunt becomes treacherous and pulls the two women to the Earth's distant corners, they find themselves up against their mother's subterfuge and the darkness that always stalks their family. Now Jane stands to lose the life she's made for the one that has been impossible to escape. Publisher: Mulholland Books. Island Witch by Amanda Jayatissa. Genre: supernatural/historical thriller. Being the daughter of the village Kapoa, or demon priest, Amara is used to keeping mostly to herself. Influenced by the new religious practices brought in by the British colonizers, the villagers who once respected her father's craft have turned on the family. Yet, they all still seem to call on him whenever supernatural disturbances arise. Now someone, or something, is viciously seizing upon men in the jungle. But instead of enlisting Amara's father's help, the villages have accused him of carrying out the attacks himself. As she tries to clear her father's name, Amara finds herself haunted by dreams that eerily predict the dark forces on her island. And she can't shake the feeling that it's all connected to the night she woke up to hear her mother's frantic cries. No one can find out what happened. Publisher, Berkeley. A Step Past Darkness by Vera Curiam. Genre, psychological thriller. There's something sinister under the surface of the idyllic, suburban town of Wesley Falls, and it's not just the abandoned coal mine that lies beneath it. The summer of 1995 kicks off with a party in the mine where 6 high school students witness a horrifying crime that changes the course of their lives. When they realize that they can't trust anyone but each other, they begin to investigate what happened on their own. As tensions escalate in town to a breaking point, the 6 make a vow of silence, bury all their evidence, and promise to never contact each other again. But 20 years later, Gia calls them all back to Wesley Falls. Maddie has been murdered, and they are the only ones who can uncover why. But to end things, they have to return to the mine one last time. Published by Park Row. The Boy Who Cried Bear, a Havens Rock novel by Kelly Armstrong. Genre, mystery. Havens Rock is a well-hidden town surrounded by forest that serves as a refuge for those who need to disappear. Detective Casey Duncan and her husband, Sheriff Eric Dalton, already feel at home in their new town, which reminds them of where they first met in Rockton. And while they know how to navigate the woods and its various dangers, other residents don't. Which is why people aren't allowed to wander off alone. When Max, the town's youngest resident, taught to track animals by Eric, fears a bear is stalking a hiking party, alarms are raised. Even stranger, the 10-year-old swears the bear had human eyes. Casey and Eric know the dangers a bear can present, so they're taking it seriously. But odd occurrences are happening all around them, and when a dead body turns up, they're not sure what they're up against. Published by Minotaur Books. Daybreak by Matt Gallagher. Genre, fiction. 33-year-old Luke Paxton has been out of the U.S. military for almost a decade, haunted by a mistake made in an unforgiving moment of combat. When an old army friend suggests they travel to Ukraine to help fight against the Russian invasion, he agrees, and together they cross an ocean to Lviv, the city of lions. He carries with him the address of a former love, a Ukrainian woman named Svetlana whom he had known as a young soldier. His feverish journey through Lviv takes him down winding and missile-cratered streets as he forms surprising connections. And when Pax gets the chance to save someone dear to Svetlana, he just might be able to correct the wrongs that have racked him with guilt for so many years. Published by Atria Books. And there you have it, folks. A tantalizing glimpse into the worlds waiting for you between the pages of these captivating novels. Whether you're unraveling wartime mysteries, exploring the depths of psychological thrillers, or embarking on adrenaline-fueled adventures, these books promise to keep you on the edge of your seat until the very last word. So, what are you waiting for? Dive in and lose yourself in the magic of storytelling. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when we upload our next bookish content. Happy reading?